Hey guys, Sean Carter here, back again, and I'm actually here to speak about why Neil Strauss screwed up my game. So, I guess every origin story has to begin somewhere. So, I was kind of nice guy that went out of his way to impress females, and I was invited to a lot of house parties by girls, and I was invited to this house party by this girl that I really, really liked, and she had asked me to bring some alcohol. And bear in mind, I was 15 years old. I stole 2 bottles of Jack Daniels from my friend's house, and he got into trouble with his dad. I remember stealing it and feeling this excitement, and at the end of the day, the girl I really liked and tried to impress hooked up with another guy from college, and I ended up ruining my friendship. I kind of wish I had a mentor or someone who could teach me game. I mean, when I was 15, I didn't have anyone who could teach me game, or seduction for that matter, or really how to talk to girls. So I was kind of left to do my own thing. And back in like 2011, or I think it was 2010, I came across this book that was written by Neil Strauss in 2015 called The Game. And honestly, I had my doubts about the book. Okay, I was 15 years old, and even I knew some of the shit in here was a little too good to be true. Bear in mind, I was 15 years old, I was rather skinny fat, and I had a problem when it came to talking to girls, right? I mean, okay, I never really had a problem talking to girls. The problem was when it came to girls, closing and always getting stuck in the friend zone. Okay? And most would describe the game as manipulative and honestly a bit sketchy. And honestly, I was at a point in my life where I was willing to try anything to better my chances with women. But what I thought would improve my chances of getting women actually ruined my chances even more. Like, honestly, The Game is a beautiful story, hands down. Most people wouldn't describe the book in that way, but for me, it was a good book, and it had its sad parts. Might even describe the characters as pathetic, but the story was inspiring. Basically, if you want something, then just go for it. But this isn't a book review. This is about why Neil Strauss made me go from loser to fucking zero. So the first part I wanted to go on about was most men make the mistake of believing that attractive women who doesn't talk to them or acknowledge them is a bitch. Most of the times, however, she is as shy or insecure as an ugly girl. Honestly, this one fucked me up a bit because it made me think I had the upper hand. I would go to a party or approach a girl, and I would initiate a conversation, or I would do an opener, and she would really not be into the conversation, but I thought, going through my mind, oh, she's insecure, or she's shy, and that's why she didn't want to continue the conversation, to be honest, because I thought she was shy or insecure. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin with this. Like, looking back, when I was 15, looking at this particular one, it really screwed me up. Not only that, it wasted my time because I could have actually gone for someone who I thought was generally interested in me. I always thought that most girls were into me, but they were shy or insecure. And I ended up chasing these girls, you know, I asked them for their number and I constantly gave them validation. And look, it's no one's fault. No one told me to take Neil Strauss's advice or, you know, just take it at face value. No one told me to do that. And looking back, I realized how much I screwed up because I was talking to a lot of girls and I wasted a lot of time, and as a result, I was set back. You know, I was chasing girls that weren't interested in me, but I thought they were, but they were just being insecure or shy. The second part is rejection. Okay, one of the quotes in the book says it takes 1,000 rejections before you get 100 yeses, or somewhere along those lines. I was this dumbass kid who got rejected 1,000 times and got 0 yeses. And why? Because I was focusing more on getting rejected than actually learning why I was being rejected. Neil Strauss mentions that rejection is a part of it's a part of the game, and I can't take that away from him. And rejection is in everything, and not only seduction. I mean, it could be sports, it could be business, it could be in your general life. Rejection is a part of life. But the thing about rejection is you need to learn where you screwed up. Why are you constantly being rejected? I mean, if you let's say you apply to a university and you don't have good grades, and you're gonna apply to every other university and you get rejected by all of them, it's because you don't meet the basic requirements. And I kind of figured that when I was in high school, I didn't meet the basic requirements when it came to girls. I was skinny fat, I was shy. Yeah, like I said, I just didn't meet the basic requirements. And when it comes to rejection, the first thing you need to do is you need to analyze what are you doing wrong. What is the problem? For instance, if you're driving a shitty car, right, and you're gonna keep on driving it and it's gonna keep on braking halfway through your destination, you're gonna have to ask yourself, what the fuck is wrong with the car? Okay, at some point you need to ask yourself, what is wrong with the car? And you have to apply that same concept into seduction. And you know, it doesn't even have to be seduction, but it could be any part of your life. Where do I even begin? Negging. I would neg a girl and she would get offended, and all I'm just saying is, guys, never ever neg. Negging a girl will get you fucked up very quickly. I would neg a girl and she would get offended, and bear in mind, I used to go to like a lot of parties and a lot of places, and I would neg girls because, you know, I thought it was part of my routine to neg girls. So if you don't know what negging is, it's basically like a backhand compliment. Like if you say, oh, that dress really looks nice on you, it's a pity it's a dress from 5 or 6 years ago, you know, it would damage any girl's self-esteem. And she won't really be attracted to you, but she will generally like reject you. Trust me, these things fucked up my game completely. Like I was on a bad level. I was like on 1, and I was on -5 by the time I was done reading Neil Strauss's book, The Game. And like I said, it got to the point where I actually had to move from schools, and I had to delete my Facebook. I mean, that's how bad it got for me. I mean, even for a kid who got friend zoned a lot and never really got the goal I wanted, I was invited to a lot of parties, and I really relied on those parties to game females because they were girls from other schools that I could game, and that was my main focus. I didn't want to game girls at my school. I felt that it was better to game at other schools in case I ruined my chances. But it got to the point where guys, brothers, older brothers wanted to fuck me up because I was damaging their sister's self-esteem or whatever. But it got pretty bad. And for me, this is why I think Neil Strauss's The Game overall is a good story, I guess. Speaks a lot about self-improvement, but would I recommend it when it comes to like actual game? No, I wouldn't recommend it. And even if you used some of those methods in today's world, it's highly, highly outdated. A lot of guys, especially on the subreddit, are looking for, books to help them with seduction. And so one book that I can honestly say you should avoid when it comes to self-improvement is Neil Strauss's The Game. I mean, read it, as a book of self-improvement or to help you, to inspire you. But I wouldn't actually take the advice on there. Like I said, it's just my personal opinion. You guys can leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe to my channel. Like I said, I will be updating my channel on a weekly basis. So yeah, I mean, if you guys disagree with me, leave a comment saying why you disagree with me. But honestly, in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend this book to any beginner. Yeah, just my opinion. Like it as a first time reader, as a first time beginner, I wouldn't recommend this book. And even if you were to use the advice from the book, it would be pretty much useless because the book is highly, highly outdated.